Marriage at 9 years is like a sitcom without a laugh track. All the awkward pauses, none of the charm. I'm Tom Grady, 39 years old, and I install security systems for a living. The irony isn't lost on me that I spend my days protecting other people's homes while mine crumbles from the inside. Ugh. It's a Friday evening in April, and I'm walking into our kitchen after another 12-hour day crawling through attics and mounting cameras. Melissa's standing by the sink, her auburn hair pulled back in that severe bun she's favored lately. She's 36, works as a property manager downtown, and used to smile when I came home. Used to. Hey, babe, I say, setting down my toolbox. She glances up briefly. No warmth, just acknowledgement that I exist. I walk over, arms open for our usual end-of-week hug. It's become ritual, one of the few connecting points we have left. She steps back, actually recoils like I'm carrying the plague. Don't touch me, she says, her voice flat. I'm not playing wife tonight. I'd say a sop, frozen, my arms still half extended like some pathetic scarecrow. What did you say? She sighs, not even looking at me. I said I'm not in the mood to pretend. My heart starts sinking toward my work boots. Pretend what? Pretend like we're happy, she says, finally meeting my eyes. There's nothing there, no anger, no sadness, just emptiness. I look at her, really look at her. When did we become strangers sharing a mortgage? So we're not happy? Honestly, no. I stand there processing this bombshell like it's a particularly complex wiring diagram. 9 years of marriage, and she drops this on a random Friday, like she's commenting on the weather. What do you want then? I ask. She gestures vaguely between us. I don't know, but not this. I take a deep breath, feeling something shift inside me, something final. Perfect, I say. She looks confused. What? You never will be again. Her face changes, like she's just realized she might have overplayed her hand. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm done. Done with what? Her voice gets defensive now. Done pretending. You're right. Why should either of us play house anymore? She starts stammering. I didn't mean it like that. Yes, you did. Can we talk about this? No. You made yourself clear. I walk past her toward our bedroom, my mind crystal clear for the first time in months. What are you doing? She asks, following me. Leaving. I pull my old duffel bag from the closet and start throwing clothes into it. You can't just leave. The panic in her voice would be satisfying if I wasn't so tired. Watch me. Where will you go? Hotel tonight, lawyer tomorrow. Her face drains of color. Lawyer? What for? Filing for divorce. You're overreacting. I stop packing and look at her. Am I? My wife just told me she doesn't want to play wife anymore. She physically recoiled when I tried to hug her. Seems like a pretty clear message. It was just a comment. She's crying now, but it feels like theater. No, it was the truth. After 9 years, you don't want to play wife anymore. I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it then? I was just tired. Tired of what? Being married to me? Silence. Exactly. I finish packing and head for the door. She blocks my path. Please don't go. We can work this out. You said don't touch you. You don't want to pretend we're happy. What exactly is there to work out? I take it back. Too late. I move around her. What about us? She calls desperately. I pause at the front door. There is no us. You made that clear. I love you. No, you don't. And I walk out into the cool April night, feeling lighter than I have in years. The Comfort Inn on Route 9 isn't exactly the Ritz, but it's clean and the Wi-Fi works. I spend the weekend thinking, really thinking, about how we got here. The signs were all there, the gradual cooling, the way she'd find excuses not to be home, how she'd started dressing up for work but couldn't be bothered to change out of sweats at home. Monday morning, I call Patterson and Associates. Margaret Patterson has a reputation for being thorough and ruthless. Perfect. My phone buzzes constantly. Melissa calling, texting, leaving voicemails that progress from angry to desperate to bargaining. I ignore most of them, but finally answer Tuesday night. Please come home, she says immediately. No. Can we try counseling? You don't want to play wife, remember? That was a stupid thing to say. Yes, it was. I'll do anything. You should have thought of that before you decided our marriage was pretend. The divorce papers are served Friday. She breaks down completely, calls her mother, her friends, anyone who'll listen about how I'm being unreasonable. But I've moved out completely by then, staying in a furnished apartment across town. 2 weeks into my new bachelor life, I'm nursing a beer at Murphy's Tavern after work when my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. You don't know the half of it. Meet me at the Rusty Anchor on 8th Street if you want the truth. The Rusty Anchor is the kind of dive bar where people go to disappear. Dim lighting, sticky floors, and a bartender named Gus, who looks like he's been there since Prohibition. I almost don't go, but curiosity wins out. She's waiting in a corner booth, mid-20s, blonde, nervous energy. Introduces herself as Mickey. Says she used to work for Sutter Property Development. Brian Sutter, she clarifies when I look confused. Your wife's been very friendly with him. My stomach drops. Sutter Property manages half the commercial real estate downtown. Brian Sutter is everything I'm not: rich, flashy, drives a Mercedes that costs more than I make in 2 years. How friendly, I ask, though I already know. Mickey slides a flash drive across the table. Hotel security footage, email screenshots, text messages. Your wife's been playing house with him for 8 months. 8 months. That explains the new clothes, the late nights, the sudden interest in team-building exercises at work. Why are you telling me this? Her jaw tightens. Because Brian Sutter is a predator who thinks his money makes him untouchable, and because your wife helped him fire me when I wouldn't play along with his games. I pocket the flash drive. What kind of games? The kind where married property managers get promoted for services beyond their job description and assistants who refuse get blacklisted. The pieces click into place. Melissa's sudden promotion last year, her new confidence, the way she'd started talking about important clients and networking opportunities. I drive home, to what used to be home, and let myself in. Melissa's car isn't there. She's probably at another late meeting. I set up one of my security cameras in the living room, hidden behind some books. Professional grade, motion activated, streams directly to my phone. Then I wait. Wednesday night, the camera alerts me at 9:47 p.m. I'm watching from my apartment as Melissa walks in with Brian Sutter. He's exactly what I expected. Tall, silver-haired, expensive suit. They're all over each other before the door even closes. I watch for exactly 30 seconds, just long enough to confirm what I already knew, then switch it off. Some things you can't unsee, and I need to stay focused on what comes next. Thursday evening, I'm waiting in our kitchen when Melissa comes home. Alone this time. Tom? She seems genuinely surprised. What are you doing here? We need to talk. I hold up the flash drive. About your extracurricular activities. She goes pale. I don't know what you mean. 8 months, Melissa. Brian Sutter. The Marriott downtown, usually Tuesday and Thursday nights. She sits down hard. How did you? Doesn't matter. What matters is that you've been playing wife, just not with me. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think. You want to know why I was so ready to walk away? Because I knew. Maybe not the details, but I knew something was wrong. She starts crying, but it feels calculated now. I made a mistake. It meant nothing. 8 months isn't a mistake, Melissa. It's a relationship. I'll end it. I'll quit my job if I have to. I shake my head. You still don't get it. This isn't about him. This is about you stepping back when I tried to hug you. About you deciding our marriage was pretend while you were playing house with someone else. Please, Tom, I love you. No, you love the idea of not being alone. There's a difference. I stand up to leave, and she grabs my arm. Don't touch me, I say, echoing her words from 2 weeks ago. I'm not playing husband tonight. Her face crumples as the irony hits home. Friday morning, I get a call from Ray, my work partner and probably my only real friend. Dude, you need to see this, he says. Someone keyed the shit out of a Mercedes in the Marriott parking garage, wrote cheater across the hood. I almost smile. Probably had it coming. Yeah, probably. You want to grab lunch? Sure. But first, I need to ask you a favor. Ray's been my partner for 3 years, installing security systems across the city. He's the kind of guy who'll help you move a body without asking questions, then bring beer afterward. When I explain the situation, he just nods. What do you need? Access to the Sutter Property building. They use our company for their security. Tom, man, I get it, but nothing illegal. I just want to see what my wife's been up to during business hours. Ray sighs. You know I can't say no to a good revenge story. The Sutter building is downtown, 30 floors of glass and steel. We're there Tuesday morning for a routine maintenance check on the executive floor cameras. While Ray distracts the receptionist with his charm, I plug into their system. It takes me 15 minutes to find what I'm looking for. Melissa's keycard access logs show she's been in Brian's office after hours dozens of times. More interesting are the emails I find on a carelessly logged-in computer. From Melissa to her friend Kendra. He says I'm the best he's ever had. Tom wouldn't know what to do with a woman if I gave him a manual. From Brian to Melissa. Can't wait for tonight. Wear the red dress. From Melissa to Brian. Tom's suspicious. We need to be more careful. I download everything to my phone and wipe the access logs. Professional habits die hard. That evening, I'm parked outside the downtown Marriott when Brian's Mercedes pulls up. Melissa gets out first, checking her reflection in the side mirror. Brian follows, his hand on her lower back as they walk inside. I wait until they're in the elevator, then get to work. The beauty of installing security systems is you learn how to disable them. Brian's car alarm is child's play. I pop the hood and disconnect the battery, then get creative. Industrial glitter from a craft store, mixed with the contents of 3 cans of tuna fish. I spread it evenly across the leather seats and dashboard, then reconnect the battery. The smell will take weeks to get out, assuming he doesn't just torch the car. I'm back in my truck when they come out 2 hours later. Brian's shouting at the valet. Melissa's covering her nose with her hand. The Mercedes looks like a disco ball exploded in a seafood restaurant. This is vandalism. Brian's voice carries across the parking garage. I want security footage. I want police. The valet, trying not to laugh, explains that the garage cameras have been malfunctioning all week. Funny how that happens. Wednesday morning, I create a private group message with Melissa's work colleagues, numbers I found in her phone when we were still married. The message includes a carefully edited video from my hidden camera, showing Melissa and Brian in our living room. Nothing explicit, just enough to make it clear what's happening. The caption reads, "Team building exercise, or just building something else. Thought you should know what your property manager does during client meetings." By lunch, Melissa's calling me hysterically. "How could you do this to me?" she screams. "Do what? Share the truth? You've ruined my reputation." "No, Melissa. You did that when you decided to screw your boss in our house. People are staring at me. Kendra won't even talk to me. Maybe Kendra doesn't appreciate being lied to about your late meetings. I could lose my job. Should have thought of that before you started earning it on your back." She hangs up, but I'm not done. Not even close. That afternoon, I drive to Brian's house in the suburbs. It's everything you'd expect. McMansion with a circular driveway, fountain, the works. His wife Simone is in the garden, tending to roses that probably cost more than my monthly rent. I walk up with a bouquet of gas station flowers and my most innocent smile. "Mrs. Sutter? These are for you, from Melissa at the property management company. She wanted to thank you for being so understanding about the late nights." Simone looks confused. "I'm sorry, what late nights?" "Oh." I put on my best embarrassed face. "I think I misunderstood. Melissa Grady? She works with your husband on those big development projects. She mentioned how grateful she was that you didn't mind them working so closely together." I can see the wheels turning in Simone's head. She's a smart woman. You don't marry money without being able to spot a threat. What exactly did she say? Just that she and Brian have been spending a lot of time together on the Henderson project. Late dinners, weekend meetings, that sort of thing. She seemed to think you knew all about it. Simone's smile could cut glass. How thoughtful of her to send flowers. I leave her standing there with the cheap bouquet, knowing I've just lit a very expensive fuse. Thursday morning, Ray finds me at the office grinning like an idiot. "You look way too happy for someone going through a divorce," he says. "Remember when you said you wanted front row seats to a good revenge story?" "Yeah? Better get some popcorn." By Thursday afternoon, the gossip network has done its work. Carla, our nosy neighbor, calls to tell me that Melissa came home crying, threw a suitcase in her car, and drove off like her hair was on fire. "What did you do, Tom?" she asks, barely containing her excitement. "Just helped some people see the truth." Friday morning brings the best news yet. Ray calls from a job site downtown. "Dude, you need to hear this. We're installing cameras at the law firm across from Sutter Property. Word is, Brian's wife filed for divorce yesterday, and she's going for blood. Apparently, she hired some private investigator who found evidence of multiple affairs." Multiple. Get this, your wife wasn't even his first employee. Guy's been using his company like a personal dating service for years. I lean back in my chair, savoring the irony. Melissa thought she was special, Brian's chosen one. Turns out she was just the latest in a long line of office conquests. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. This is Simone Sutter. We need to talk. We meet at a coffee shop downtown. Neutral territory. Simone is elegant in that way only old money can buy. Understated jewelry, perfect posture, eyes that miss nothing. You're Tom Grady, she says. It's not a question. Guilty. And your wife has been sleeping with my husband, among other things. She sips her coffee, studying me. You know, I almost admire your approach. Most men would have just punched Brian and called it even. Violence is for people who can't think of anything better. Indeed. She sets down her cup. I have a proposition for you. I'm listening. Brian's company is having their annual retreat this weekend. All the major clients will be there, plus the entire staff. It would be a shame if something embarrassing happened to him in front of everyone. What kind of embarrassing? She slides a tablet across the table. On the screen is a video, security footage from a hotel, showing Brian and Melissa entering a room together. The timestamp shows it's from last week, after I'd already moved out. I've been collecting evidence for months, she explains. But I think it would have more impact coming from someone other than the scorned wife. What's in it for you? A very favorable divorce settlement. Brian can't exactly claim infidelity when he's been caught red-handed himself. I study the video, an idea forming. Where's this retreat? The Riverside Conference Center. Black tie dinner tomorrow night. All the city's property development elite. And you'll be there? Of course. I'm still Mrs. Brian Sutter, at least for another few weeks. Saturday evening, I'm standing outside the Riverside Conference Center in a rented tux, feeling like an imposter. Ray's with me, equally uncomfortable in formal wear, but game for whatever I have planned. You sure about this? He asks. Absolutely not, but I'm doing it anyway. The dinner is in full swing when we walk in. I spot Brian immediately. He's at the head table, schmoozing with clients, and acting like he owns the world. Melissa's at a nearby table with the other property managers, looking uncomfortable in a dress I've never seen before. I wait until Brian stands to give his annual speech about integrity in business and building lasting relationships. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Halfway through his speech, I stand up. Excuse me, I call out, loud enough for everyone to hear. I think there's been a mistake. Brian looks confused. I'm sorry, who are you? Tom Grady. I'm here about the Henderson project. Melissa has gone white as a sheet. She knows what's coming. I don't believe we have any business together, Mr. Grady. Oh, but we do. You see, my wife Melissa has been telling me all about your collaborative approach to property management. I pull out my phone and connect it to the presentation screen. The hotel's security footage starts playing, crystal clear and unmistakable. The room goes dead silent. Brian's mouth opens and closes like a fish out of water. Melissa bolts for the exit, but Kendra and two other colleagues block her path, their faces showing exactly what they think of being lied to for months. This is outrageous, Brian finally manages. Security! Actually, Simone says, standing gracefully from her table, I think our guests deserve to know exactly what kind of man they're doing business with. She nods to me, and I switch to the next video. Brian with a different woman, a different hotel. Then another, and another. My husband, Simone announces to the room, has been using company resources and employee relationships for personal entertainment. I thought you should all know before signing any new contracts. The room erupts. Clients are standing up, demanding explanations. Employees are shouting over each other. In the chaos, I slip out the back, Ray close behind. Holy shit, Tom, he says as we reach the parking lot. You just nuked that guy's entire life. Good. Monday morning, the fallout begins. Brian's company is hemorrhaging clients. 3 employees have filed harassment complaints, and the local business journal is running a front-page story about ethics in real estate. Melissa calls me, sobbing. I lost my job, she says. They fired me this morning. Shocking. How could you do this to me? The same way you did it to me, except I didn't lie about it for 8 months. I have nowhere to go. You should have thought of that before you decided our marriage was pretend. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know you are. Sorry you got caught. I hang up and block her number. Some conversations aren't worth having twice. The next few weeks pass in a blur of legal meetings and paperwork. Margaret Patterson is as ruthless as advertised, and with all the evidence I've collected, the divorce proceedings are surprisingly straightforward. She's not going to get much, Margaret tells me during one of our meetings. Adultery doesn't play well in family court, especially when it's this well documented. "Well, I don't care about the money. I just want it over." "It will be." Her lawyer's already hinting at a settlement. She knows she doesn't have much leverage, but Melissa isn't going down without a fight. When she can't reach me directly, she starts targeting my work. Anonymous complaints to my boss about unprofessional conduct and misuse of company equipment. Claims that I've been using my access to client buildings for personal vendettas. My boss, Harlan, is a gruff ex-cop who's seen every scam in the book. He calls me into his office Wednesday morning. "Want to tell me what this is about?" he asks, holding up a stack of complaint forms. I explain the situation, leaving out the more creative details of my revenge campaign. Harlan listens without interrupting, then leans back in his chair. "Your wife's been calling here too," he says. "Claims you've been harassing her boyfriend." Ex-wife, soon to be. And he's not her boyfriend anymore. His wife divorced him, and he lost his company. Harlan almost smiles. "Yeah, I heard about that. Made quite a splash in the business community. Am I in trouble? For what? Exposing a cheating spouse? Last I checked, that wasn't illegal." He tosses the complaints in the trash. "Your work's been solid, Tom. Whatever you did on your own time is your business." But Melissa's not done. Thursday night, I come home to find my apartment door jimmied open. Nothing's missing, but someone's been through my things. The message is clear. If I can play dirty, so can she. I'm installing new locks when Carla calls. "Tom, honey, you need to get over here. Your wife's in the backyard of your old house with some blonde woman, and they're loading stuff into a truck." I drive over to find Melissa and Kendra hauling boxes out of the garage. Technically, it's still half my house until the divorce is final. But I'm curious what they think is worth stealing. "Ladies," I call out, walking up the driveway. "Moving day?" Melissa drops the box she's carrying. "Tom, this isn't what it looks like. It looks like you're stealing my tools. These are community property." "Actually, they're not. I bought them before we got married, and I have receipts." Kendra steps forward, trying to look tough. "She has every right to be here. Maybe, but you don't." I pull out my phone. "Should I call the police, or are you going to put my stuff back?" "You can't prove anything," Kendra says. "Can't I?" I hold up my phone, showing the video I've been recording. Trespassing, theft, breaking and entering, that's a pretty good start. Melissa starts crying again. It's becoming her default response to everything. "I just wanted something to remember us by," she says. "You've got 8 months of memories with Brian. That should be enough." They put the boxes back. But I know this isn't over. Desperate people do desperate things, and Melissa's running out of options. Friday night proves me right. I'm having dinner with Ray when my phone explodes with notifications. Someone's posted a dozen fake reviews of our security company online, claiming we're unprofessional, unethical, and not to be trusted. The writing style is pure Melissa, overwrought and dramatic. But she's made one crucial mistake. She's used details about our jobs that only someone with inside access would know. "She's really trying to torpedo your career," Ray says, reading over my shoulder. "Yeah, well, two can play that game." I spend the weekend documenting everything. The fake reviews, the break-in, the harassment complaints. By Monday morning, I have enough evidence to bury her. But before I can act, Margaret calls with news. She wants to settle, she says. Full surrender. She keeps her car and personal belongings. You get everything else. She's also agreed to sign a non-disclosure agreement about the divorce proceedings. What's the catch? No catch. She's desperate, Tom. No job, no prospects, and her reputation's shot. She just wants this over. And Brian, bankrupt. His wife took him for everything, and the sexual harassment lawsuits are piling up. Word is he's moved back in with his mother. I almost feel sorry for them. Almost. But that feeling evaporates Tuesday morning when I get a call from my neighbor at the apartment complex. "Tom, you need to get over here. Someone's been in your place. This time, they've taken something. My laptop, my backup drives, and, most importantly, my dog. Rex is a German Shepherd mix I adopted 2 years ago. He's the one good thing that came out of my marriage falling apart. The one living creature who's never lied to me or let me down. There's a note on my kitchen table. If you want him back, meet me at the old storage facility on Industrial Road. Come alone. B. Brian." The bastard's desperate enough to steal a dog. I call Ray, but it goes straight to voicemail. I'm on my own for this one. The storage facility on Industrial Road has been abandoned for years. Half the units are rusted out. The other half are used by people who want to hide things from the law. It's the perfect place for a desperate man to make a last stand. I park at the entrance and walk in. my phone's flashlight cutting through the darkness. The place smells like rust and decay, with an undertone of something I don't want to identify. Brian, I call out. I'm here. My voice echoes off the metal buildings. Somewhere in the distance, I hear Rex barking. Over here! Brian's voice comes from the back of the complex. I find him in front of Unit 47, looking like hell. His expensive suit is wrinkled and stained, his silver hair disheveled. Rex is locked in a portable kennel beside him, whimpering when he sees me. You came, Brian says, like he's surprised. You stole my dog. Of course I came. I didn't steal him. I borrowed him. For what? Brian laughs, but there's no humor in it. To get your attention, to make you understand what you've done to me. What I've done? You screwed my wife in my house for 8 months. Your wife came on to me. She was unhappy, looking for someone who could appreciate her. And you were just being charitable. I gave her what she needed, what you couldn't. I stepped closer, keeping my voice calm. And what was that? Excitement, adventure, a real man. A real man doesn't hide behind other people's wives, Brian. A real man doesn't steal dogs when his world falls apart. His face flushes red. You destroyed my life, my company, my marriage, my reputation, all gone because you couldn't handle losing your wife to a better man. I didn't destroy anything. I just showed people who you really are. I loved her. No, you used her, just like you used all the others. That's not true. Then why didn't you leave your wife for her? Why didn't you make it official? He doesn't have an answer for that, because we both know the truth. Melissa was just another conquest, another ego boost for a man who thought his money made him untouchable. Let Rex go, I say. This is between us. No, you're going to fix this. You're going to call your lawyer and tell her you lied about everything. Or what? He pulls out a gun. Small caliber, probably his wife's. His hands are shaking so badly he can barely hold it. Or I'll make you disappear. No one knows you're here. Actually, they do. I hold up my phone. I've been live streaming this whole conversation to my security company's emergency system. Say hi to the police, Brian. His face goes white. You're bluffing. Am I? Check your phone. I bet you've got about 3 missed calls from 911 dispatch by now. He fumbles for his phone with one hand, keeping the gun pointed at me with the other. Sure enough, it's buzzing with missed calls. You son of a bitch, he whispers. Professional habit. I never go into a dangerous situation without backup. In the distance, I can hear sirens. Brian hears them too, and panic sets in. This is your fault, he screams, waving the gun wildly. All of it. No, Brian, this is yours. You made the choice to cheat on your wife. You made the choice to abuse your position. You made the choice to steal my dog and threaten me with a gun. Own it. The sirens are getting closer. Brian looks around wildly, like he's considering running, but there's nowhere to go. She said she loved me, he says, and for a moment he sounds like a lost child. Maybe she did. But love built on lies doesn't last. What am I supposed to do now? Face the consequences, like a real man. The police arrive in a blaze of lights and sirens. Brian drops the gun and puts his hands up, all the fight gone out of him. As they cuff him, he looks at me one last time. I hope you're happy, he says. I'm getting there. Detective Mendez takes my statement while the EMTs check out Rex. The dog's fine, just scared and confused. He stays close to me while I explain the situation, his warm weight against my leg a reminder of what really matters. You're lucky this didn't go worse, Mendez tells me. Guy like that, backed into a corner, could have ended badly. He's not a killer, just a coward who ran out of options. Still, maybe invest in a security system for your apartment. I almost laugh. I install them for a living. This was just a temporary oversight. As they load Brian into the patrol car, Melissa appears at the edge of the lot. She looks terrible, hollow-eyed, thin, wearing clothes that have seen better days. Tom, she calls out, but doesn't come closer. What do you want, Melissa? I wanted to tell you I'm sorry, for everything. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What did you expect? Forgiveness? A tearful reunion? I don't know. I miss you. You miss being married. You miss having someone to fall back on. You don't miss me. She starts crying again. But I feel nothing. No anger, no sadness, no sympathy. Just emptiness where she used to matter. I made a mistake, she says. You made a choice. Every day for 8 months, you chose him over me. You chose lies over truth? You chose to step back when I tried to hug you and tell me you weren't playing wife anymore. I was confused. No, you were honest. For the first time in months, you told me exactly how you felt. And you know what? I'm grateful. Because it freed me to stop playing husband. Detective Mendez approaches with a clipboard. We'll need you to sign this statement, Mr. Grady. Honor signed the papers while Melissa watches from across the lot. When I'm done, I clip Rex's leash to his collar and start walking toward my truck. Tom, she calls out one last time. I turn back. What? Do you think, could we ever be friends? I look at her, really look at her. This woman I spent 9 years with, who I thought I knew, who turned out to be a stranger wearing a familiar face. No, Melissa, we can't be friends. Friends don't lie to each other for 8 months. Friends don't betray each other's trust. Friends don't step back when you need a hug and tell you they're not playing friend tonight. Her face crumples, but I'm done being moved by her tears. You wanted excitement and adventure, I continue. You wanted a real man who could give you what I couldn't. Well, congratulations, you found him, and now you both get to live with the consequences. Untersehen, walk away, Rex trotting beside me. Behind us, I can hear Melissa sobbing, but I don't look back. The last night she played wife was the night she told me she wasn't playing anymore. She was right. She never would be again. Not with me, not with Brian, probably not with anyone for a long time. But that's not my problem anymore. I load Rex into the truck and drive home to my apartment, where the only person I have to worry about disappointing is myself. And for the first time in years, that feels like enough. 3 months later, the divorce is final. Brian's in county lockup, awaiting trial for kidnapping and assault. Melissa moved back in with her mother in Ohio. I kept the house, the dog, and my self-respect. Not a bad trade for 9 years of marriage that was mostly pretend anyway. Ray asks me if I'm dating yet, but I'm not ready. Maybe someday I'll find someone who wants to play wife for real, not just when it's convenient. Someone who won't step back when I try to hug them, who won't treat our relationship like a performance they can opt out of when they get tired. But for now, I'm good. Rex is excellent company. My business is thriving, and I sleep better at night knowing I don't have to wonder what lies I'm being told or what truths are being hidden. The security system in my apartment works perfectly. No one gets in without my permission, and no one leaves without me knowing about it. It's a good system. I should have installed it in my marriage years ago.